2, 1. Well, welcome into My Dogs Are Barking on MPW Digital. I'm Landon, and my man over here, the guy we've been waiting for, the guy we've been missing. I'd love for him to introduce himself.
Yeah, my name's Austin. It's been a second, but I'm excited to get back into it. I mean, this is just talking about Mississippi State basketball. This has been an absolute roller coaster the past few weeks. So it's been all over the place as a Mississippi State fan. If you're listening, so it's been crazy to keep up with this team. But I mean, we're here for the ride. We're here for it, and I'm excited to get into it today.
Yeah, well, Mississippi State is coming off a loss, 81-68 on Tuesday. I believe this will be posted on Thursday. So we're recording this on Thursday or Wednesday right now. But Mississippi State falls to Florida 81-68, led Florida at the half, and then just everything kind of unraveled. We'll talk about that game. Like, we don't want to spend too much time on it. I think it's a lot more interesting to talk about Ole Miss coming up on Saturday, on another game on the road versus a ranked opponent, and obviously Ole Miss. So you got the rivalry there as well. So we'll talk about all that in just a moment. Also, pardon my microphone issues for today. So we'll just roll with it how it sounds. But hey, want to let you know that My Dogs Are Barking are brought to you in part by Arpa's Coffee and Bar. Arpa's Coffee Bar there in Starkville is in the heart of the Cotton District. It's a great place to get a great meal, to get some coffee, get some caffeine. And like I said, located in the heart of Starkville in the Cotton District. Mention that you're a listener of My Dogs Are Barking, you get 15% off your order. Not a bad deal. So make sure you visit Arpa's. Great place, great late night hangout. Friendly staff is dedicated to ensuring your experience is nothing short of exceptional. So give them a look. And speaking of looks, man, it seems like every team that plays Mississippi State is always getting a good look from three. I mean, every single time they're money from three, man. They're just getting rich off the three. But hey, what does it mean to be rich? Maybe it's less about reaching a magic number and more about discovering the magic in life. Skip Langley is your Batesville, Mississippi Edward Jones advisor, serving clients in the area and across the state of Mississippi. Count on him for financial strategies that can help you support a life you love, because the key to being rich is knowing what counts. So contact him today at 662-563-9843, and together you can find your rich. Edward Jones, member SIPC. Austin, I do want to get I'm going to bring up the stats for those watching on YouTube. I'd love to get your thoughts, though, about this Florida and Mississippi State game. Overall, like we said, State leads, and then everything just kind of fell apart for the Bulldogs in this game.
Yeah, no, we talk about the Mississippi State collapse a couple times, and this was a textbook collapse. This was insane. I mean, even in the first half, it didn't seem like Mississippi State was really. I mean, like it didn't really feel like we were winning the game, if that makes sense. And in the second half, I mean, what did they went on like a 17 to 0 run, like 25 to 4 run, an insane run, and it was devastating to watch and to keep up with. This was a terrible, terrible second half. And, we have really, really struggled the past, I don't even know how many years it's been, but like just late in the game against really good teams, it's like we never really come up on top when it's a very good team and we're still in the game, especially at the hump too as well. I mean, we've just really collapsed. Alabama, Kentucky, and now Florida. We were winning in the first half, and then the second half, total collapse. And I don't think anyone saw this coming into the second half. I mean, we looked like we didn't even want to play. Josh Hubbard had 19, I believe. Keyshawn Murphy had 18. It was a rough game. It was a really, really rough game. But but then again, put it into perspective, Florida's the number 3 team in the country. We got to keep telling ourselves to that. We were leading against the number 1 team and a number 3 team in the country going out of the first half. So that's good, but man, what a tough game. I mean, you can just see, I mean, everybody was struggling. Other than Josh Hubbard and Keyshawn Murphy, everybody was struggling to score the ball, and that really caused us in the second half. I mean, just no shots were falling. There were a lot of turnovers, and it wasn't Mississippi State's brand of basketball. And offensively, we just looked totally lost, and defensively. And it was a really, really ugly game going into that second half. And I'm just glad it's over, to be honest. I'm really glad that game's over.
Well, and even though State, like you said, State was leading in the first half, but even Josh Hubbard was having a tough first half. He didn't have a great night shooting the basketball. But people around him just have not been able to score at all. Offensively, State has just looked really, really rough. I mean, they're shot 26% from three. They had 7 total threes, and 4 of them were from Josh Hubbard. Claudell Harris was 1 for 5. Kugel was 1 for 4. Sean Jones was 1 for 3. Keyshawn was 0 for 1. And Keyshawn Murphy had a double-double. He was 18 and 10, or pardon me, 18 and 13. So he had a good game. But no one else is able to, like RJ Melendez was not able to have shots fall. Cam Matthews is just kind of an odd deal, man. I don't know if he's just winded or what it is, but he has not played well. I mean, he only played 25 minutes. He's usually been playing 35 plus. I don't know if they're just trying to rest him more. If that could be the case. But State has really struggled. And again, you're right. This is a good team, and State did have a moment where the game was closer than maybe what some people would think. However, it all kind of fell apart. And I got to say, Austin, as we go forward, kind of where we are, State is regressing as a team, even though, look, they've lost 6 conference games, and all 6 of them have been against quad one opponents. So like you do have to account for that. These are really good teams that you're playing. But if you're a good team, you at least are competitive in those. And State, especially in the second half, it fell apart. It just wasn't super competitive. And when State was winning, it didn't feel like they had the game in the hand. So as we go through the rest of this season, I just got to say, man, I want to get your thoughts. State they were a projected 7 seed going into last night's game. This game Saturday against Ole Miss. Am I overreacting and saying if State loses this game, it could mean the difference between going to the second round or getting eliminated in the first? And here's one reason I say that. Then I want to get your thoughts. State has, if they continue to lose games the way that they do, if they lose versus Ole Miss, then that'll be their 7th game dropped, and then they might they'll at least drop one game going through the rest of the season that they have, or 2 because they have Alabama coming up. All of a sudden, they're playing themselves into a 9 seed or playing themselves into a play-in game, and that's just not a great match. You don't want to be limping into the tournament. No one limps into the tournament and then wins a ton of games. You have to have some sort of progression going into it. Is it too much of an overreaction? Is it just right? How do you feel about that statement? If State loses Saturday, it might mean the difference between getting eliminated in the first round or carrying on.
No, I mean, you're just right. I think this next game, for just even a momentum standpoint, is so big for us. Obviously we won against Ole Miss in overtime probably about a month ago now, and it was a really big win at the Hump. But now we're going to Oxford. It's going to be a totally different game, and momentum wise, this is monumental. I mean, I would much rather be a 7 seed than an 8 seed. It sounds goofy to say, but I mean, it's a really big deal to be a 7 seed over an 8 seed. And I mean, Mississippi State fans, let's be honest. I mean, let's just be real. We're not thinking that we're going to win the national championship. All right, no one's really thinking that. But if we can win a game or 2 games, that would be so good. I mean, last year we got out in the first round against Michigan State. 2 years ago, we got out in the play-in game. And so a win just in the tournament in general would be awesome for this program. And then 2 wins would be awesome. So if you put us in a 7 seed, that gives us a much better chance to do that. So I think that's a very valid standpoint. I mean, there's not a whole lot of games left. I mean, a good bit of basketball left, but we're running out of time to be a really good seed. And so we got to start winning these games. We don't need to be keeping it close. We need to start winning these games. And what a way to do that against your rivals, who has also had a really good season, and they're trying to get a really good seed in the tournament as well. They're in the same boat as us. So this is going to be a huge game for both teams.
Yeah, and we're going to break down the preview in just a second when we come back from the break, and just kind of talk about what that matchup will look like, who I have favored in that game. I'd love to get your thoughts on that one. But it's a very big game for both teams, and we'll talk about the reasons why here in just a moment. But first, we got some messages from MPW Digital. We'll be right back after the break.
All MPW digital podcasts are brought to you by our friends at Parish Brewing Company, located in the heart of Cajun country in Broussard, Louisiana. Parish Brewing Company's simple goal is to make awesome craft brewed beer, and they do it remarkably well. The doctor is introducing their new go-to IPA, Dr. Juice. It's a highly crushable juice bomb, dry hopped with a blend of their favorite hand-selected hops from the Yakima Valley in Washington. Dr. Juice's drinkability is sneaky good considering it clocks in at 6% ABV. The pour glows a rich cantaloupe hue with a thick frosted haze, soft mouthfeel, an aroma and taste that's full of passion fruit, papaya, and blood orange, making it drink like a glass of freshly squeezed juice. They also have Ghost in the Machine. It's a double IPA brewed with obscene quantities of hand-selected Citra hops from Yakima Valley. Expect pungent grapefruit flavors and aromas, tropical fruit, less harsh bitterness than most IPAs. Again, it's Parish Brewing Company. Wherever you get your beer, check out Parish. Make sure that you look for them because any beer that you get from Parish is going to be absolutely outstanding. Thank you from MPW Digital. We're brought to you by Easy Hemp Company. Easy is a hemp-infused sparkling water. It's a guilt-free alcohol alternative, a natural way to relax and unwind. It's all natural. Made with real fruit, no added sugar, low calories, gluten-free. One 12-ounce can of Easy has 3 milligrams of THC. With Easy, it's easy to avoid the gummy scare and control your experience. So change the can, not the ritual. It's easy. Visit easyhempco.com to view the Easy Finder to find Easy near you. Easy is Farm Bill compliant with hemp derived from THC, CBD extracts. Easy is for people 21 and older. Enjoy responsibly.
Well, welcome back to My Dogs Are Barking on MPW Digital. I'm Landon, joined by Austin. And Austin, Mississippi State and Ole Miss are playing this Saturday in Oxford. A big game for both teams. Mississippi State feels like they're sputtering, 17-7, ninth in the SEC. Ole Miss is coming off 2 straight wins, one versus LSU, the other versus Kentucky. So they are in a really good spot throughout the rest of the season. But now that you have this game in Oxford, starts at 5 o'clock on Saturday, and Ole Miss is coming off a 72-70 victory versus LSU. And in that game, Ole Miss did not shoot the ball very well. They shot 26% from 3, but that's LSU contesting the 3. State is allowing a lot more open shots.
Yeah, no, this is a big game, like I said, for both teams, and so just the importance of this game is going to be huge. Like I talk about it all the time in almost every episode. Momentum, momentum's such a big thing in basketball, and right now Mississippi State doesn't have any momentum. So to be honest, if we lose this game, I feel like my tone's going to change a little bit. I really do, but I'm picking the Bulldogs for this game. I think that we have enough to get it done, and we gotta turn this momentum thing around. I mean, the fans are not very excited right now. They're not feeling well. Everybody's so excited about on Friday Mississippi State baseball starting back, and everybody's excited for that. And this Chris Jans team is kind of sputtering a little bit, and that's not good. But what a way to bring the fans back in, to reel us everybody back in by getting a win against Ole Miss would just be monumental. And I think that we're going to do it. Riley Kugel's due for another good game. Cam Matthews is due for a big game. Not even a big game, just a good game. These people have really been struggling. Like you said, Josh Hubbard had 19, but he didn't look great. Keyshawn Murphy off the bench has been magnificent for us all season long. He's been really, really good. We need him to do that again because we need our bigs to play good against this team. But we got to limit the threes. Whatever Chris Jans can do to do that. They haven't had a good plan for that at all this season. And we got to draw something up because they can shoot us out of the building. We could lose this game by 20 points if they just get hot. And who knows? The way other teams have been shooting against Mississippi State, it could definitely happen. This is going to be a big game for us. I got the Bulldogs coming out, but I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah, I'm actually expecting Ole Miss to come out firing because I think they saw whenever Florida started hitting a few of those shots, State could not get in a rhythm offensively. And when they couldn't do that, they were just the game was pretty much over with. So I would not be shocked at all to see Ole Miss coming out and shooting the 3 effectively. Malik Dia hasn't been playing well as for a guy that's really, really talented. He played 16 minutes versus LSU. But he hadn't been the same guy he was since before the last time State played Ole Miss. he had a really big game. But that's the thing. Ole Miss has so many different guys that can contribute. Padula is kind of a good combo guard and a guy who can dish the assist and also can shoot the three. He was 4 of 7 from three. And Dre Davis had 22, shot 50%. And then off the bench, you get some, Breakfield can score for Ole Miss as well. So Ole Miss has several different options. I got to tell you, though, Austin, I think because of the way that State has played as of late, I don't feel good about the Bulldogs going into this game. I think Ole Miss wins. It's on the road in Oxford, and you talk about momentum. Momentum is very important. Ole Miss has some momentum right now. And I think because of their big wins they've had, kind of they're playing for some seeding. State at this point is really just kind of playing to not unravel. And they're on the brink, man, because all of a sudden Cam Matthews has become your third or fourth best player as of late, just over the last 4 or 5 games. And that has really come down to Keyshawn Murphy playing better. But outside of those two guys, there's not really been a lot of other people contributing. I feel like, just like, I don't know, the shots aren't. Am I wrong? It seems like when they get down the field or get down the court, everybody's just kind of looking around. If it's not Hubbard taking a three, everyone's looking around to see what to do.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, I love Chris Jans so much. He's a great defensive coach, but offensively, yeah, it looks like that all the time. It looks like they're just playing, just pass and cut, just kind of goofing around like a middle school team sometimes offensively. And it's really annoying to watch. I mean, they'll just hold the ball. It looks like they're not even trying to get a good look sometimes and just let the shot clock go and then force like a Sean Jones Jr. like corner three. It just, sometimes it's really, really ugly basketball watching them. And we don't need that. We need a good flow. We need to play fast and get it going down court, like you said. But yeah, sometimes we just look stagnant on offense. Like we just don't even know how to score. We don't look like we know what we're doing. And if we want to beat the Rebels, we gotta know what we're doing offensively, because like you said, I mean, these guys can get hot and they have a lot of shooters. They have a whole lot of guys that can hit the three, and I don't want any piece of it. I mean, they had a couple guys lighting us up in that first game, and if they do that again, we were better a month ago than we are right now. And that's not a good thing. For a lot of teams, it's the exact opposite. You get better as time goes by. This is not the same team from a month ago. We need to see that team from a month ago, though. So we got to come out looking like that team that was projected to potentially be a 3 seed. We need that team on Saturday.
Yeah, and for the Bulldogs, they've got Ole Miss Saturday. Then they have number 8 in the nation, A&M at home. So you at least get them at home. Then you go on the road at Oklahoma. Then you got Alabama in Tuscaloosa, and that ends your quad 1 games, 8 quad 1 games in a row. Of those 8, I think you only ended up winning 1. Yeah, thus far they've only won 1. That was to Georgia by 1, barely. Yeah, so man, a rough rest of the season if State loses, because if they drop this game, A&M doesn't look like a great game right now that the State's going to win, and they should beat Oklahoma, but then they go on the road at Bama. It's just it has an opportunity to unravel. So we will see, but make sure you stay tuned to My Dogs Are Barking. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. It's just at MyDawgsPod. Subscribe to us on Substack, and make sure you subscribe to MPW Digital, over 11,000 subs. So we want to continue and kind of keep that going. But until next time, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time.